Hello, hello guys, hello my dear students. Good morning to all. How are you all? I hope you all are doing great. You all are doing wonderful. No, in this video, I'm going to teach about the voice because most of my students have asked me to teach them about voice. Because of that, I'm going to shoot this video. Okay, and I would say, please watch my video till the end. This video gonna very helpful to you to all. Okay, in this video I'm going to teach only what is voice, how many types of voice, like active, passive, only definition basis. Okay, just without delay the time, let's get started. Okay, yes, voice. What is voice? Okay, let me tell you the definition of the voice. What is voice? Then I will write after that. Okay, definition of all the things. So the form, okay, the form of a verb that shows, the form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence performs the action or is it, okay, or is affected by it, is called voice. Let me repeat once again. The form of a verb, the form of a verb that shows, the form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence performs the action or is affected by it is called voice. Okay, it means also we can say that in a voice we study, okay, in a voice we study, in a given sentence subject is doer or subject is receiver. If subject does something, it means subject is doer. If subject receives something, it means subject is receiver. Okay, so main things we have to study about that. Okay, let me write the definition. It will be very good for you to understand. Okay, the form of verb, the form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence, okay, the form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence performs the action or is affected by it is called voice. Okay, let me repeat once again. The form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence performs the action or is affected by it is called voice. Just before I told you, in a voice we study subject is doer or subject is a receiver. Okay, in a given sentence, if subject does something, it means subject is doer. If subject receives something, it means subject is a receiver. Okay, so okay, there are two kinds of a voice. Okay, let me write it. There are two kinds of voice. Okay. First, active voice. Active voice and second, passive voice. Okay. First active voice, second passive voice. Okay. So there are two kinds of a voice, active voice and passive voice. Let me tell you, in active voice, always subject is doer. In passive voice, always subject is receiver. Okay. So let me define it. Okay. First, active voice. Active active voice. No, a sentence in which a sentence in which subject subject okay performs the action, performs performs the action. Active voice, a sentence in which subject performs the and action described by verb. Verb. That is active voice. What is active voice? In a sentence which a sentence in which subject performs the action described by verb is called active voice. Okay. For example, Ram, it's a mango. Ram, it's a mango. Okay. Just before I told you, we have to study, we have to notice that in active voice, always subject is doer. Okay, so here one sentence that is in active voice. Okay, Ram eats some mango. Here, Ram is the subject of sentence, and Ram performs the action of eating mango. Okay, Ram performs the action of eating a mango. Okay, so we can say this sentence is in active voice. Okay, second, Rahul plays cricket. Okay, Rahul plays cricket. It means in this sentence, this is also in active voice. Okay, so here the subject Rahul. Okay, Rahul performs the action of playing cricket. Rahul in this sentence performs the action of playing cricket. So that's why Rahul is doer, Ram is doer. So both sentences are in active voice. Okay, easily we can say that. And let's start the definition of a passive voice. Okay, passive voice. Passive voice. A sentence in which subject subject receives, there here you have to mind it. Okay, this is the main things to differentiate between active voice and passive voice. In active voice, subject performs the action. In passive voice, subject receives the action. Okay, receives the action described by verb. Okay, once again I want to tell you, please listen my words and watch my videos till the end. Here is the difference between both active voice and passive voice. In active voice, always subject performs the action. It means always subject is doer. In passive voice, always subject receives the action. It means subject is receiver. Their main thing. Okay, this is the main difference between both active voice and passive voice. Okay, let's say example. Okay, Ram eats a mango here. Okay, here it is in active voice. Okay, now I'm going to write here passive voice of it. Okay, passive voice simply. A mango is eaten. Mango is eaten by Ram. Okay, first here in this sentence is in passive voice. Okay, this sentence is in passive voice, passive form. Okay, here is the subject of mango. A mango is the subject of this sentence, and here the subject mango is receiving the action. Okay, receiving the action of a being eaten. Okay, mind it. Here the subject a mango is receiving. Okay, is receiving the action of a being eaten. Okay, that's why this sentence is in a passive form. And second example, Rahul. Sorry. Second example, cricket is played by Rahul. Second example, this is also in passive form. Okay, here the subject of this sentence is cricket. So cricket, here is the subject of this sentence is cricket. Cricket performs. Okay, sorry, here the subject is receiving the action of a being played. Here the subject cricket is receiving the action of a being played. Okay, because of that also you can say this subject is in passive form. Okay, it's enough. And I want to make you understand all the things once again. Please watch my videos carefully and try to understand. In this video, I have told you only the definition of the voice, active voice or passive voice, and what is the difference between active voice and passive voice. And my further video, I will teach you all the rules of a passive voice in detail, like passive voice, how passive voice is made in a present indefinite tense, in present continuous tense, in present perfect tense, like this. All the rules I will teach you in my further videos, because if I teach you all the rules in this video, my video will be longer. Okay, so let me explain all the things, okay, once again to understand you. The form, what is voice first? Okay, what is voice? The form of a verb that shows whether the subject of a sentence performs the action or is affected by it is called voice. It means, what is the voice? In a voice, you have to study two things. Okay, subject is performing something or subject is receiving something, that is the voice. Okay, and how many kinds of voice? So there are two kinds of voices. Okay, there are two kinds of voice. There are two kinds of voice. First, active voice and second, passive voice. In active voice, okay, a sentence in which, okay, a sentence in which subject performs the action described by verb, that is active voice. And for example, Ram eats a mango. Here we can identify Ram eats a mango. In this sentence, Ram is subject and Ram is doer. Why? Because Ram is performing the action of eating a mango. Because of that, Ram is what? Basically, in this sentence also you can say Ram eats a mango is in an active voice because Ram is doer. Here the subject Rahul. Rahul plays cricket. Okay. So here is the subject Rahul of this sentence. So Rahul is performing the action. Rahul is performing the action of playing cricket. So that's why, okay, we can say very simply, Ram is doer, Rahul is doer. So both sentences are in an active voice. Here the passive voice, a sentence in which subject or receives the action described by verb. Okay. So in this sentence, in a passive voice, always subject is receiver. Mind it. Okay. So example, a mango is eaten by Ram. Okay. Here, a mango is written by Ram. So in this sentence, a mango is subject of this sentence. Okay. Also you can say here is the subject, a mango is what? Is receiving the action of a being eaten. Okay, mind it. Here the subject is receiving the action of a being eaten. Here is the subject cricket is receiving the action being played. Because of that, both sentences are in passive voice. Okay. So I hope, okay, it will be good for you, and the next video I will see you. Okay, and just before I told you, in this video I have told you only the definition of the voice, what is voice, what is active voice, what is passive voice, with the simple two examples. And my further video I will teach you all the rules of a passive voice, how passive voice is made in all the tenses. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.